fractions. First of all, understanding fractions, and then there'll be a series of videos following this first one on how to simplify, find out equivalents, so on and so forth. But watch this one first, and without further ado, I'm going to get going. Scroll down to my first slide. So, what we need to understand first of all is fractions and parts, yeah? So, you can see there we've got a half, and if it was a pizza, half a pizza, you can see half a pizza there, so a half looks like this. And we've got the numerator on the top and the denominator on the bottom, and you can see that on the slide there, yeah? So, the denominator tells us how many it's cut into, how many parts contains, and then the numerator tells me how many I've got. So if I've got a pizza and I have got a half of a pizza left, it was split into two and I've only got one left. And obviously two halves, as you can see on that diagram here, two halves makes one whole pizza because it's been split into twos. Yeah, so I've got a half and a half, which really is two halves, which is the same as one whole pizza. So I'll just explain that a little bit more. You can see at the bottom there. So I've got one half, which is here. And if I put two halves together, I've got one whole pizza. So the pizza's actually split into two, and I've got one half slice. If I've got two half slices together, then that's going to be my whole pizza, isn't it? Yeah. Excuse my drawing skills. That would be the same as one whole pizza. Okay, let's have a look. The next slide. So this slide is talking about quarters. So what that's saying is, if I've got a whole pizza and it's split into quarters, it's split into fours. 1 quarter. And you can see with this diagram here, that's 1 quarter. That's one of those pizzas cut into 4 slices. So one whole pizza contains 4 quarters. There's 1 quarter here. There's 1 quarter here. There's 1 quarter here. And there's 1 quarter here. So in total we've actually got 4 quarters. And it's the same as one whole pizza. Little diagram at the bottom will perhaps help a little bit. Let's have a look at that here. Let's scroll in. So you can see there at the bottom we've got 1 quarter. And then when we've got 2 quarters, it's actually the same as a half. Yeah, because if you look at that shape, 2 quarters. So that's 1 quarter here, I'm just colouring in. That's another quarter here, I'm just colouring in. It's actually the same as a half. Look at the proportions, they're exactly the same. And we'll cover some more of that in another video, don't worry about that for now. So we've got 2 quarters there and 2 quarters and a half together, as you can see in this one here. It still is the same as 1 whole one. And right at the end there, we've just got 3 quarters on its own. So, just a reminder, just to help us remember, that pizza originally was cut into 4. And we've got 3 slices left, because one of them is missing. Yeah, we've got 3 quarters. It's not a full pizza. Alright, let's have a look at another one. So this time we're looking at thirds. So my pizza originally was cut into 3 slices, and 1/3 means I've got 1/3, 1 slice out of a possible 3. And to make it back up to a full pizza, I would need 3/3. So I've got 1 here, one here, and one here. So I don't know if you've noticed, and you may have done, you may not. I'm just going to move my slide to the side. As the slices get smaller, the numbers get bigger. So if I've got a half, and I've got a pizza, I've got one half, so out of two slices I've got one left. That's a half. If I've got a third, I'm having to split that pizza into three. So those slices are getting slightly smaller, aren't they? So if I get a quarter now, they're getting smaller again. And if I was to go up to, let's say, an eighth, so it's not split in half, it's not split into quarters, it's actually split into eighths, then each one of those is getting smaller each time. Yeah, but it's still the same principle. That pizza there is saying it's split into 8, and if I've just only got one left, then I've just got one that was cut into 8. Yeah, 1/8. Okay, so just going back to the thirds, look along the bottom there, we've got 1/3, so it's a pizza that was cut into 3, and I've only got one left. Here I've got 2/3, and you can very clearly see by the diagram that it was cut into 3, and I've got 2 left, and as you can see, there's 1/3 here, and 1/3 here, so it makes 2/3 in total. And then here I've got 3/3, which is actually the same as one whole pizza, because when it's put back together, 3 lots of 3 equals 1. Okay, so the first task we're going to do, and you'll be able to download this sheet with the video, it'll be in the link, is to understand and identify fractions. So based off what we've just gone through there, I'm just going to show you what you need to do on this first one. Just make it a tiny bit small so we can see everything. Whoops. Doesn't want to play the same today. So this first here, that first example there is shading 3/4, so you can see there that there's 3 out of the 4 have been shaded. This one was to shading 1/4, and I'm not the best at colouring in, but if I need to shade in 1/4, I know I need to fill this bit in here. So that would be 1/4, because the pizza's cut into 4 and I'm shading 1. This one here is cut into 5 and it's asking me to shade in 1. So I'm going to take one segment. If we're looking at circle parts, that would be a sector. So I'm shading in 1 out of 5. This one here, it's saying, well, my pizza's cut into 5, but I want you to shade in 2 parts. So I've got 2 slices left, so I need to shade in 2 of these. So I'm going to go over the line. I'm going to shade in 2. Not my best work, I'm afraid, but it's not bad. Do another one, 2/4, number 14 there. So it's cut into 4 and they're asking me to shade in 2. Remember, the denominator tells you how many it was cut into. The numerator is telling you how many you've got. And I'll just colour those in. Okay, I hope that's helps you understand how fractions work. So this one here, number 12, it's split into 6, but it's asking you to shade in 3, so it's going to be, and it's actually the same as a half, that one, if you look at that one. But we'll talk about that another time. Okay, watch my other videos on fractions, and it will all become very clear. Thanks for watching.